A monster producer is a legendary creature who combines multiple skill sets to dominate their market. Are you ready to dominate?
Folks. Hey, Coach.
I'm going to take this screen out. I want to show you guys something. Hope this inspires you. What I'm about to show you inspires me. Oh, wrong one. Let's see what I got here. Profile settings. There we go. Background filters. None. All right, I'm going to take this over here and show you guys something. When I was growing up, guys, okay, and I think part of mentoring is exposing you to something. When I was growing up, we were, I wouldn't say we were very poor, but we didn't have a lot, right? And so I remember when I was young, we vacationed in the same place every year, a place called Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Okay, which is a beautiful place, by the way. It's beautiful. Okay, so I have no knocks toward Gatlinburg. I actually owned a cabin in Gatlinburg for many years, and we loved it. Okay, but when I grew up, we were never exposed to a lot of things. We never went to big cities. We never went to New York City. We never went to Los Angeles. We never went to Miami. We never went to Chicago. And so I was not exposed to a lot of the way big cities think. And I think in big cities, there's lots of energy. There's lots of commerce. There's lots of business. So, you know, one of my big things with my kids is I want to expose them to bigger ways of thinking. I want them to have diversity of thought. I want them to see big things. So one of my dreams was to always have a place in the city. So I want to show you, I'm down actually at our condo in Nashville, Tennessee. And one of my dreams was to have a place way, way, way up. Look at that view, folks.
Nice.
So I'm on the 38th floor, and that is downtown Nashville. And one of the things that I wanted was I want to be able to see the energy of Broadway, where all the music is. So right down there is Broadway, where all the young country music stars are. They're all trying to make it big. And I bring my 8-year-old daughter down here. And when she first came down here, she just sat at the window and looked out at the city. She's like, Dad, this is so incredible. And I'm like, I know. And what I'm trying to teach you is that there's a big world out there. And there's a big, and we want you to be exposed to that big world. Now, I only live about 25 minutes from here, by the way. And my lodge that we have is 35 minutes from here. So I got my personal house. Then 20 minutes down the road, I got this beautiful 8,000 square foot lodge. Then 25 minutes in the other direction, I got this beautiful condo in downtown Nashville. So I told my wife, I said, I got a 5 and a 5:30 and an 8 o'clock. And I'm going to be at the Greatness Factory in Nashville. So I'm just going to stay down at our condo in Nashville. And I have the greatest wife in the world. So she's like, just stay down there, sweetheart. So it's my opportunity to be a bachelor and just kind of have my own little man cave down here. So I'm very happy when I'm down here, right? Not that I don't love my family, but you know, every now and then it's good to have a little break, right? All right. So I want to hear some success. One of the things we're doing, and one of the things that we do in our office every day is we have a formula that we're working from. And I realized I had a meeting one day with my team, and it was sporadic and random. And, you know, I was asking questions, and man, I said, man, it's a terrible meeting. It's my fault because I'm the leader. And I said, we want a formula. Every day we want a formula that we want to use. So every day we start off with success. We talk about the success we've had. That could be qualitative or quantitative. Okay. Qualitative means I can feel it, but I can't measure it. Quantitative means I can measure it. Okay. Then we move to what I would consider a prey drive activator. How do I activate the prey drive of my team? Then we move to some training, because I believe training is not something you did, it's something you do. And I was reminded this weekend by watching this ranger, this Army ranger that went into Benghazi the night that they had this big attack in Benghazi on the ambassador at the consulate. And he was talking about how well they were trained and how, right? And it got me thinking, man, we need to do a better job training. Training is not something you did, folks. It's something you need to do every day. So we do a little bit of training every morning in my office. This morning was on the 4 steps of the sale. And then we move into what everybody is doing that day. Less than 2 minutes, every person has to tell me what they're doing that day to produce. And then we end with our sales number. What is our number that we're at today in relationship to where we should be? And that is basically a 20 to 30 minute meeting. Now, the reason this is important is because tonight we're going to talk about monetization. And this is critical. Let me shut my refrigerator here because I got me some water and it's still open. It's making noises. I have a big belief. I meet with all kinds of people and they're real smart and they got a lot of things going for them. But one thing they really struggle with is they struggle with taking an idea and making money with it. So when you hear me talk about monetization, what I'm saying is we have to be clear, folks. To be clear, it don't matter how good it is what you have. It's only as good as the market says it is. It's only as good as what you can sell it for. Does everybody see that? Okay. And when I talk about monetization, I'm talking about how do you make money with your concept. And I can't tell you how many people I coach in a day that spend their whole days doing all kinds of things that have absolutely nothing to do with the production of a customer or of money. And I'm like, I'm confused. Like, right? Like I'm confused. Like for us to grow this, we have to have money. Okay. And my definition, and I love these personal mentoring groups because I can kind of be real with you, is I don't think I think at 250,000 a year, you're almost broke. Okay. And I don't mean that as a negative or a slight to anybody, but man, my goal is to get you to earning $1 million a year of personal income. If you're earning $1 million a year of personal income, there's not a lot of things you can't do. Y'all realize that, right? I mean, you can have big goals and big dreams and, so I believe when you get to $250,000, you're making money. But I think when you get to $500,000, you're living a good life. When you get to 750, when you get to $1 million a year in personal income, I think you're doing it big, folks. Now you may say, man, I could never do that. Like that's totally out of the realm of my possibility. When I was a high school basketball coach, I wasn't thinking, I didn't even think about money. Okay. I didn't even like, if you would have came to me, if Tony Richards came to me when I was 26 years old and I was making $25,000 a year or $26,000 a year and said, Coach, man, you're a level 10 dude. You could be making $1 million a year speaking and coaching. Man, I would have just looked at Tony like, man, why would I need $1 million? Like I'm happy. I'm doing what I love doing. Like I couldn't even get my mind around that. Okay. And so I want you to know it's very incremental. I remember when I was trying to make $5,000 a month speaking extra on top of my coaching salary. And in my mind, I was like, man, if I could just add $5,000 a month to my coaching salary and I was making $50,000 or $60,000 a year as a basketball coach, if I could make $100,000 a year, man, it'd be crazy. Okay. Now I'm telling you this to inspire you because, last month we did 1.3 million in sales in 30 days, folks. And at 25, 26 years old, I wasn't even thinking like this. I mean, I was thinking, how do I make $5,000 extra dollars? My first paid assignment in coaching was $350 for 3 hours. And I thought, this is the coolest thing in the world, man. I'm going to make $100 an hour. I mean, I thought I hit the jackpot, folks. So for me to do 1.3 million in a month in sales, now you realize there's a difference between what you sell and what you collect. Okay. And I measure things in 30-day increments. So if Tony Richards goes out and books a coaching assignment this month and he charges $5,000 a month for 6 months, and they sign the contract and commit to that, then he has sold $30,000 in the month of November. Everybody see that? Okay. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to sell a minimum of $350,000 of coaching every 30 days. That means I sell it. That means it's what total contract value. I don't care how we get to that number, by the way. I don't care if we sell 10 publishing summits and we do 10 books we write for people and we do 7 funnels and I sign up 25 new monster producers and I get 4 people rent offices at my greatness factory. I don't care how I get to that 350,000. It's still all coaching. Okay. It's just look at how many products I have to get to that number. I may have I've got like 150 products. So if I only had one product, if Kelly says I only got one product to sell, and if somebody doesn't want that product, now what do? I mean, we're screwed, right? That's why I love having multiple products. If Lori comes in and says, look, I want to be a coach and monetize my coaching, I say, look, Lori, you need to be in this package and you need to come to my coaching summit and you need to be a monster producer, right? There's 3 or 4 things. If she says, well, I don't really like that. Some people say I don't like learning online. Okay, great. I'm doing boot camps, right? I've got this, I've got that. The way we get to that number is through multiple products, not through one product. Okay. I'm listening to what Cynthia needs. And then I'm saying, Cynthia, this is a product you need. But make no mistake about it, folks. I'm nice and sweet tea and Southern and apple pie. But if you don't think, folks, that I'm a stone cold killer machine, you've lost your mind. Okay. You just need to come and work with me for a day and see. I am totally focused on the production of revenue for my company. Okay. And I don't mess around with this. I know a lot of people I coach mess around. They're like, well, I hope we make some money. You know, it's good if we hit our goals. No. Like, here's the deal, folks. Your business needs money like your body needs oxygen. Okay. It cannot survive without revenue. So I don't care how good your idea is. I don't care how smart you are. I don't care how good your product is. I worked a lot of people. It's got a lot of ideas. I am totally focused on the monetization of an idea. Okay. If Norbert brings me an idea and he said, look, I want to partner with you. The very first thing I'm running through that filter is, Norbert, I want to know how we can make money with this product. And if I don't see a clear way to monetize that product, I'm not going to partner with somebody. Okay. I had dinner tonight with a person and they were talking about ideas and all these things. And I'm like, look, I'm interested in one thing, the monetization of an idea. You can bring 100 ideas to me, but if I don't see a clear path to making money with that idea, I'm not going to participate in it. I don't have enough time. Everybody understand what I'm saying? So I want to go to these 5 levels, and then I want to get into really how do you work the selling system? Because when I wrote the book, This Ain't No Practice Life, many years ago, this is just a simple observation. I said, man, there's 5 levels of people. There's the reactor, and the reactor wakes up every day and is in a total reactionary state to everything that happens to them. It's like they get punched and then they spend a lot of time blaming, obfuscating, pointing fingers, making excuses, right? And I thought kids made excuses when I was a high school teacher until I started coaching adults. And adults can come up with some of the best excuses I have ever heard in my life. Well, I got 4 kids and I can't do this and my kids got this and this didn't work and I can't get to work on time. And man, if you've heard all the excuses I've heard in my folks, adults come up with excuse after excuse after excuse. Those are reactors. Okay. Then there's what I would call the strugglers. And strugglers they think that life is hard. Making money is hard. Success is out there, but it's not for them. It's for somebody else. How many of you know a complete bozo that's made a bunch of money? Raise your hand. Come on, folks. Everybody have. I can put 2 hands and 2 feet up. Okay. Because if you saw some of the people that I've worked with, and I'm like, that dude made $5 million. I'm like, I don't even know how he gets himself dressed in the morning. Like he's clueless about what's going on in the world. And he made $5 million last year. Like I see this every day and I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? So the struggler thinks that success is out there, but it ain't for them, man. It's always for somebody else. Like, I don't have this. I don't have that. If I just had this, if I just had that. Okay. That's the second level of person. Third level of person is what I call the thinker. And I would associate another word with this. It's the dreamer. And the dreamer's got a lot of ideas, but not a lot of action. My team would tell you I'm a person of action. I don't want to talk about it. I want to do it. It may not work, by the way. Okay. I think I told you this. I have a lot of, I take a lot of action. Some of them work and some of them don't, but I win more than I lose. Because I'm willing to take a bet and I'm betting on myself. So the thinker lives in a world of, I want to have a coaching business. I want to make money doing this. I want to do this, but they just, for some reason, they can't work the muscle and go do it. Fourth level of people is what I call the floater. And the floater is a person that jumps from idea to idea to idea, and they never stick on an idea. Okay. What I notice is that big time people have the ability to have a long obedience in the same direction. They do not jump from idea to idea. They may have a lot of ideas, but they have a core skill set, a primary skill, and they stay focused on that skill. You know, I just did an event with Sharon Lecter, and Sharon Lecter co-wrote the book Rich Dad Poor Dad with Robert Kiyosaki. And they sold 32 million copies of that book. And she does a lot of things. She rewrote the book Think and Grow Rich for Women. She partnered with Napoleon Hill Foundation. She has got the Big Play movement. She's got a new book out called Exit Rich. At the end of the day, her number one thing is financial literacy. It don't matter how many different ways she does it. Her number one skill set is teaching people how to get rich. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. And how that's her deal. Okay. Okay. So she may do a lot of things, but her number one thing is this. My number one thing is the activation of prey drive in people. Okay. Now, the fifth level of person is what I would call the doer and the achiever. And these are people who have very high reliability. They don't just talk a big game. They are a big game. They follow through. They make things happen. They take big bets. You know, it's like they're just reliable. It's just like money in the bank, man. You can count on them. They're not random. They're not sporadic. It ain't always sexy, but man, they get the job done. And you got to decide which one of these you are going to be in the 5 levels of people. And if you want respect from the highest level of people, then they recognize the doers and achievers. You know, I watch how people follow up with me. I watch, and Megan and Laking, who are on here tonight, can tell you, people come into my life randomly and sporadically. They stay for a little bit. They don't have the staying power. They pitch me ideas, but they don't just keep showing up. And I could give you a list of 100 people that have done this to me. They come around and try to sell me something, and they have a little half-hearted effort at it. Then they never really get my attention. Then they just float off into the universe like I never see them again. And I'm like, man, that ain't a big time person. I mean, come on, man. Big time people stay the course. They show up. Yes, sir, Tony.
Yeah, I have a question, and this stings a little bit as you're talking here, because I see myself in 2 areas, and something all my life I have struggled with, and it's going to sound like a simple question, but for me it's not. I see myself between the thinker, dreamer, and the floater. I have I've had a lot of ideas, take a lot of action, but I jump from idea, and like a firecracker, you know, stay focused for a while, and then it just kind of explode into a lot of different pieces. How do I get out of that? How do I start moving through that to get to the doer achiever?
Well, I think there's 2 forms of discipline. There is self-discipline. Okay. You have to remember that the word discipline is a derivative of the word disciple, which means to give yourself to a person or cause you believe in. And I always ask people, do you believe in your own future? And the answer is yes. Okay. Will you become a disciple to that future? Now, why do I work out at F45 every day? Because I work out harder when I have a trainer and a coach and an environment, and that activates and reactivates my prey drive. And it pushes me to go beyond my natural state. If I stay down here, like in the morning, I'm going to get up, I'm going to drive back to my home city, I'm going to work out at F45. If I could work out here, they have a nice gym, but I'd be working out on my own. And I know that workout will not be close to the workout I get when I go work out in an environment that holds me accountable. And so I always say a good coach, if you plug into my coaching program and you're on the Monday call with me and you're plugged into the private Facebook group and you're coming to the boot camps and you're engaging with me, that will decrease the slippage between your ideas and your action, if that makes sense. Okay. And that's really what we need. You know, we've got some members that pay $25,000 and above for me to be their coach. And one particular is coming into town tomorrow. 2 are coming into town. And for the publishing summit I'm doing. And man, those dudes lock in. Like they show up, they travel. One of them's traveling from Iowa, Des Moines, Iowa. And he comes in, he's coming for like 6 boot camps already in the first 3 or 4 months. I mean, the dude has devoured every bit of my content. He's watching my online academy every day. He's right. Like it's constant, man. It's like, man, he's dug in, man. There's no randomness about this. And I think if you struggle with, I start with good intention, I fail to follow through, I experience guilt. If you struggle with that, then you really need to plug in to where there's high accountability. Okay. Have we got some health coaches on here? Some Optavia health coaches? Okay. Now here's the deal. You guys both know it won't work if you don't work it. Okay. The way I lost 30 pounds is I stuck exactly to the program, specifically in the first 3 to 6 months. Man, I didn't waver one bit. Leaning, 5 fuelings, leaning green every day. If I had a snack, it was only approved snacks that Doug Wood told me that I could eat, pickles and I don't know, whatever, cheese, whatever it was. And I mean, I stuck straight to the plan with a high amount of discipline. And that's how I lost 30 pounds. The people who get on the program and, you know, go a couple days and then they eat 3 cheeseburgers and then they go do this, man, I can't tell you how many times I wanted a freaking cheeseburger during that period. You know what I'm saying? I wanted one every other day, but I was more committed to losing the weight than I was getting the cheeseburger. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Now, 6, 7 months into it, I'm at my ideal weight. What if I told you it's actually hard for me to gain weight now? My metabolism is working at such a high frequency. I could go eat a cheeseburger if I want to, and I don't gain any weight. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. It's like I got my metabolism right. Now it's hard for me to screw it up. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, I don't even know how to explain it to you, folks. I just know, so I really, to Tony's question, I spent 6 months very disciplined. I got it right. I got my weight to my ideal weight. Now I'm on more of a 3 and 3, a plan. And man, I really don't gain any weight. As long as I work out, I don't gain any weight. Okay. So you can't dabble with it. Just guess what I'm saying to your question, Tony. And one more thing, and then I'll move to the key teaching tonight. I had a speaker who was a good friend of mine named Joe Calloway. And Joe Calloway wrote a book called Becoming a Category of One. And I kind of grew up watching him. He lived in Nashville. And he kept telling me early on, Burt, you got to pick a lane. You got to pick a lane. And I didn't want to pick a lane. I wanted to just be everything, right? And he kept saying, man, pick a lane, pick a lane. And it took me until I was really 40-something years old to pick a lane. I've picked a lane now. I'm going to be the #1 activator of prey drive in the world. That's a lane. Okay. And I wish I would have taken his advice a lot earlier, because what he was saying is you got to pick an area you're going to be the best at. You can't be the best at everything. So I would tell you, come up with one program, Tony, stay focused on that program, see that program through to its monetization. Okay. And this is where I'm going back and teaching you guys to simplify it. Like I have all this online academy, robust, thousands of hours of content. Brad Lee at Lightspeed's one of my good friends, and he's constantly like, man, why are we not monetizing your online academy more? And I'm like, Brad, it's too complicated. I want to come to Vegas. I want to take 1 course, maybe 2, prey drive and person of interest. I want to get those courses down, and I want to sell those courses to the market. And I want to do $250,000 with the launch of those 2 courses. Okay. I want to prove to my team that we can sell the online academy. And I think we need some success selling it. So let's start with 1 simple course. Okay. Let me come to Vegas, which I'm doing in a few weeks. Let's get in a room and let's walk out of there with a real plan to make $250,000 with this one thing. And if we can do that, then we'll come back and talk about how to monetize the whole online academy. Okay. All right. Now, tonight we're talking about So we're going through this cycle. Activate your prey drive. Okay. How many people's prey drive has been activated? Raise your hand if your prey drive has been activated. Megan Farrell, you better raise your hand too. Okay. Because if you work with me every day and your prey drive ain't activated, okay, there's a major problem. Now, here's my point. We activate your prey drive. Then we learn how to explain our services. Why is this important, Tony Bass? Because we believe having something to say is just as valuable as having somebody to say it to. I can show you the selling system I'm about to show you. I can say, go out to the marketplace, go tell it on the mountain. But if you don't have something valuable to say, it don't matter. How many people call on you on a day to try to sell you something that don't have anything valuable to say? Okay. So the EOS, okay, and Tony Richards has started using the EOS in his sales pitches. Okay. The EOS, something valuable to say. Then you move to, who are we going to say it to, folks? Who are we going to go out to the marketplace and try to monetize? Monetization happens when your talent solves a problem for somebody. And they are willing to exchange their money for your talent. Everybody see that? You have a talent and a skill set. Your talent solves my problem. Therefore, I'm willing to exchange my money for your talent. Okay? But what if I don't know about your talent? What if I don't know what you can do? What if I don't know how you can do it better? What if I don't know who you are? So we'll get into person of interest in the sixth session. But tonight we're talking about pure selling. How do we take what we have to the marketplace? Okay? So I have what's called a selling system. And the selling system is a way in which I come into the day with a laser-like focus on the production of money. Okay? And so I come into a day and I'm like, all right, who's got the money I'm looking for? Okay? Who can I help with my services? Okay? When I come into the day, very first thing I'm asking myself is who has the money I'm looking for? Who will exchange their money for my solution to their problem? Okay? And I come into the day with what's called a hit list. And the hit list represents people I think I can help. Okay? They're people I think I can help with my services. Now, so when I come in today with a hit list, I'm like, all right, who can I help out there with what I have? What do I have? Well, I'm the #1 activator prey drive in the world. Who would want me to activate their people's prey drive? Who would want me to motivate their people? Who would want me to increase their sales? Who would want me to help them solve their follow-up? Who would want me, right, everybody, see where I'm going with this? And I start going, okay, who could I call tomorrow and present an idea to? And I find that in 4 places. Okay, so write these 4 places down. #1, current clients. Okay, this is where multiple products comes in. Okay, if I call Tony Richards and I say, Tony, I don't know if you know this or not, but we have a publishing division of our company, and I know you got some books out. We would like to relaunch those books. We have a formula to make them a bestseller on Amazon. I'd like to use the book, relaunch it, use it to relaunch your speaking career. Boom. I'm going to introduce you to my publishing division, and they can show you what we can do. That is a hit list phone call. I could also say, Tony, I don't know if you know this, but we do a couples retreat coming up in April. You and your lovely wife can come and spend time with us at our house in Florida with other couples that are trying to do big things in the world. Guaranteed to activate both your prey drives. And right, that is a hit list phone call. Because all Tony can say is, hey, I'm interested or I'm not interested. But what if he says I'm interested in both of those products? Now we've called him because why? We can help him. Everybody see that? If you only got one product, it's like, hey, Tony, all I've got is a legendary creature package and you're in it right now. How many of y'all bought multiple products from me? Raise your hand. That's right. Look at that. Dang, it actually works. Isn't it great? Oh, me. Megan, it's crazy. It actually works, what I've been teaching every day. Can you believe that? Now, here's my point. If I only had one product, folks, and I call you and offer you that product, or you've already purchased that product, then I'm out of luck, man. So one of the places I go, this is called optimization. I learned this from Jay Abraham. Jay Abraham is a master at teaching people how to optimize, meaning Walgreens gets you into the Walgreens store. They don't just sell you one product, they sell you 15 products. How many of you have ever gone to Walgreens, went in there to get one thing on the way home from work, and because you were there, you got 7 things? How many of y'all done that? I've done it. Do you know that Walgreens has some of the highest profit margins of any company in the world? And you know why? You could get the same product at Walmart way cheaper, but you don't want to go to Walmart. So what do? You step into Walgreens, you're like, well, I'm here, might as well get some razors, some shaving cream, and my medicine, and this thing. Next thing you know, they've marked those products up 2 or 3 times based on what you pay at Walmart, folks. That's why they put them on every corner, and because it's convenient on the way home, okay? Now, my point to you is, this is the way you need to be thinking, okay? So what I do is, as you come into the family, and I say, hey, I'm glad you're in the family. I'm glad you're a monster producer. Did you also know I do all these cool retreats you can come take advantage of? And did you also know I have a publishing division and a funnel division and a health division? And you can take advantage of all. And oh yeah, by the way, I own a gym. And if you want to work out with a gym, you can come to F45 and work out at the gym. And it's like you're going to the store and you can pick from all these options, okay? Now, and I'm going to come back to your question, Cynthia. If you own a restaurant and I go into the restaurant, okay, you can tell me where the profit margins are in a restaurant. My guess is, let's just think about this. You go down to Nashville to Broadway, they get you in there and they make money off the alcohol. They don't make money off the food. What do is they get a little singer up front. So you come in there and you listen to the singer and you have 3 or 4 drinks. That's where they make their money. Now, what if they didn't have the drinks, or what if they didn't have the singer and you just went in there for the food? So my point is, one place I call every day is I go straight to my customer base and I go, man, I've got 510 monster producers. Every one of those monsters could be called with the option to cross-sell something else. That would be a hit list phone call. So I go to my current client base and I try to offer more products so that you can take advantage of more products. And what happens is the average sale goes up, just like at Walgreens. It's where instead of spending a little bit of money, you start spending more money. Why? Because I'm solving problems for you. Okay. Now, Cynthia, what's your question? Unmute yourself. Go ahead, Cynthia. You're on.
Sorry, I'm at work. I'm at the restaurant. So that's my thing. So, you say pick one. So I do real estate and I'm a restaurant owner. Restaurant owner is so much more involved, right? It takes up most of my time. I'm good at both. I'm a people person. I'm trying to get through these next 5-6 months with them saying, oh, we might close you down again. I have patio seating, winter's coming. So I'm brainstorming. I'm trying to think through, like, what else could I do? How else could I monetize on those current customers? I have customers that come in every day and say, thank you so much for being open. We love you guys. My catering is down, but I'm pushing it. So I get it trickled in. That's the biggest hit to my business right now. But we're a big community place. So I have been reaching out to charities to see if we can get more exposure to be doing other things like that. But I was just kind of looking for some ideas.
Well,
some help.
I think the question is, how do you get the people who love you to bring other people into your restaurant? How do you do strategic partnerships with people in the community? Your hit list. How do you expand the catering? How do you find 5 to 10 people who call on you consistently? Because I know the people we use at the lodge, we use over and over and over and over again for my events at the lodge. People are reliable, cost effective, produce good food. What if they had 20? But let me use a real life example. Let me ask Megan. Megan, you're handling events for us. How many restaurants have called on you to do to handle our events for the food at our lodge?
None.
Not one restaurant's called on you. And we use certain restaurants. Now, let me ask you a question, Megan. The restaurants we use, how many of them have actually called you and thanked you for us using their services at the lodge?
None.
None. Okay. All right. Now, let me ask you a question, Megan. Okay. Now, how hard is it? See, this is what I'm saying. how many times are we going to rent the lodge to outside people that we could refer their restaurant to do we just did Ken Jocelyn's event. We could have recommended the restaurants. Yes or no?
Correct. Yes.
Okay, good. So the restaurants are being lazy here, folks. They can tell me all day long that they want to get new business. They can tell me all day long that they're doing everything they can to get new business. But folks, that's baloney, because they're not doing everything they can. They're not even thanking the customers they got and saying, hey, Coach Burt, here's what I'd like to do. Here's what Demas's restaurant should do. They should come to me and say, I want to sign an exclusive deal with you, Coach. I want to be the #1 provider of every retreat you've got and every event you have at the lodge. And I'm willing to do an incredible deal with you if you will commit in advance to every event with me. And I'm going to do, folks, if you look at my schedule for next year, I'm going to do 40 events at that lodge. So here's my point. This is the way you need to be thinking is, A, I'm already a customer, Cynthia. So pretend for a second I'm your customer and you're doing events for me. #1, you ought to come to me and say, Coach, 2021, I want to sign up to be the exclusive provider for events for you for all year. And I'm willing to cut you a rate if you'll commit to me to do every single event you got and everything else you do at the lodge. That sound good? Because you could get 50 catering events next year.
Right.
Now imagine if you had 10 of me, Cynthia.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying? Now we're talking. Now, see, this is the hit list. The hit list is the restaurant owner wakes up every day and says, man, I'm on offense. I'm calling 10 people today that's doing events. And I'm saying, man, I want to earn your business. I want to be the #1 provider for you. I will do this for you. That's a hit list phone call. Okay. Now, I don't know a lot about your restaurant. What kind of restaurant do you have?
It's casual dining. It's pizza, but we do everything. When we cater, we do pasta, wraps. We can do pizza.
Sit down. Can I come in there and sit down and have a business meeting?
No. Well, I mean, we have outside. That's it. All in California. So I'm in California. Everything inside is closed. Not even 25%. Nothing.
Well, you need to move out of California. I mean, come on, girl.
I've heard that several times.
Let's get real here.
I really like Tennessee.
Well, come on. We can visit California, okay, but not live there. Now, here's my point. My point is, if I was a business person, you need to come to me and say, look, Coach, I want you to have business meetings here. See, if you study restaurants, and most people have like their primary restaurant they go to anytime they have any, right? Like I go to Bonefish in Murfreesboro every time I go out for dinner because I know it's got great cucumber margaritas, okay? Don't tell anybody that I have a cucumber margarita every now and then. They have great cucumber margaritas and they got consistent food. Why would I mess around and go somewhere else? Because I ain't got time to figure out if it's good or not. I go to the same place every time, right? Guess what though, Cynthia? Bonefish has ever called me. Now I walk in there, they say, hey Coach, how you doing? Coach, thanks for coming. Coach, would you like a cucumber margarita? They know who I am, but boy, it sure would be nice if every now and then they called me and said, hey Coach, what can we do to get some more of your business? You got to think like a businesswoman versus the way restaurant people think. Okay. And I'm on offense. If I owned a restaurant, man, I'd be calling every person I know. When you come in the restaurant, man, how can we have a business meeting at the restaurant? How can we get your friends in the restaurant? How can we cater your business? Offense. The hit list says I'm initiating every day. How many of you would admit right now you don't initiate enough with your business? Raise your hand. Initiate means outbound effort. I'm calling Amy and I'm presenting an idea to Amy. She may or may not like it, but dadgummit, I'm calling her and I'm going to present an idea to her. Everybody see that? Okay. This is the business I'm in every day, folks. If you come and shadow me in Tennessee for a day, you would see how many outbound calls I make, text messages, phone calls, video texts. Every second, I'm like banging on somebody, working the sales system. Okay. And I'm calling hit list people. Okay. Cynthia, does that help you? Good. So we made a big decision. We made a big decision for you tonight. We're moving you out of California, and that's the best thing I can do. All right. We'll save you on a lot of taxes. Okay. We can go visit California when we're in town. We can say hi. We can go to the restaurant, whatever. Okay. All right. Good. Tony, go ahead with your question.
Thank you.
Thank you, Cynthia.
Coach, you actually answered it. I was going to ask if you use text blast or any other means besides phone calls, would phone calls be your primary means of doing it? Or
Actually, so think of it this way. Eric White in my office, we're building out a call center, okay? Because I got 3,000 leads and not enough people to call up those people. So my next play is a call center that I control in my office where I can physically see them making calls every day because I'm producing too many leads and we can't get to all those leads.
Right.
Okay. But Eric White in my office makes 60, 70 phone calls a day. And he combos that with text messages, emails. I send a lot of text messages, voice text, videos, right? That's how I primarily communicate with people. So if Amelia Dunn, like I just FaceTimed her one day out of the blue. Okay. Like I focus on the red zones every day. So I go to the sales team and I'm like, give me everybody that you think is close to making a decision. And I either FaceTime them or send them a video message or call them or whatever. And I just keep going, Tony, till I get their attention.
Okay.
I just keep going. I'm like, hey, Tony, I called you, but I didn't get you, man. I left you a great voicemail. Man, call me back tomorrow. If you don't call me tomorrow, I'm like, Tony, I've stayed up all night waiting on your phone call, man. Thought you was gonna call me. like I'm here.
Yeah.
Can't sleep at night. I'm waiting on you to call me. Right? Like I have fun with the sales process. I don't get all stressed out, and I joke with people. Okay. And my point is the hit list though is every day I'm initiating, and I'm calling my current book of business to expose them to something else. Kelly Perry, how many products have you bought from me? At least 5, right? Yeah. She bought 4 or 5 products. If you looked at the average customer that I have, they're buying 3, 4, 5, 6 products from me. They're in a coaching program and they're coming to a retreat with me. Then I'm crossing over and some of them are going to my gym. Then I'm crossing over and some of them in my health division. Some of them are doing funnels with me. Some of them are writing books with me. Everybody see that? Okay. So I'm calling my current book of business every single day. Kelly, you got a question? Unmute yourself there.
Is that it?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, cool. First, Tony, I saw the flag. I appreciate whoever was in your family.
Yep.
For all the military, I appreciate you. Thank you.
There you go.
That was my father. Thank you.
You're
I
welcome.
see that's beautiful.
Yeah. Coach, I emailed you, but my question real quick in a nutshell is, I dropped the ball a long time ago. I was a Mary Kay sales director. I had a car. I had a lot of people. I had a team. I had lots of customers. Life happened. There was a death. My mother-in-law moved in, rocked my marriage.
Yep.
I just bailed out, didn't tell any of my customers or anything.
Yeah.
But now I am, I'm very passionate about helping families when a loved one dies.
Mm-hmm.
If they purchase my service, I'm going to help their family with life insurance.
Yep.
Okay. And I believe in that and I'm passionate about that. Should I call those people? Like I have their information. And if I call them, I think the best thing to do would be like, hey, I was your Mary Kay consultant. I dropped the ball. I'm sorry. But now I have this, I'm doing this, and I also have a firearm business.
Yep.
I can offer you an intro to firearms if you're interested, free course, or if you'd like a free quote.
Yep.
What are your thoughts?
Here's my point. If let me tell you what interesting phenomenon that's happening. I'm seeing a resurgence of old customers that used to be my clients that dropped out for some reason. Times were good, right? Business is booming. They're making a bunch of money. Pandemic happens. And I'm seeing this huge resurgence of people coming back into my programs. Okay. Now, what does that tell me? That tells me we should never stop calling on people. And for you, if I haven't talked to you in a year, 2 years, 3 years, and we had a good relationship, I just need to say, Kelly, I love you. I love working with you. First thing I want to do is apologize to you for not staying in your life.
Okay.
You just need to confront it. And you need to just address it. Like, I'm sorry. I got busy with life. A lot of things happened. I fell off the wagon. Hope you can forgive me. But man, I really love working with you in that old business. Let me tell you what I'm doing now. You never know. See, I was coached by Covey, and Covey taught between stimulus and response is a space. And in that space lies our ability to choose our response. Meaning, and he learned it from Viktor Frankl, who was in a Nazi prison camp and being tortured. And here's the lesson. I don't know what Yolanda's thinking until I pick up the phone and call Yolanda. Okay. She may tell me to get lost, lose my number, never call me again. That's a possibility. Or she may say, man, I'm so glad that you called me, Coach Burt. I've been thinking about getting in the coaching program. I've been watching you on Facebook. I've been listening to your videos. I was on your summit. Thank you for calling me. I'm ready to sign up. Does that make sense? And that happens. I didn't know Amelia Dunn was going to sign up when I called her. Matter of fact, that day that I FaceTime her, she was at work. Okay. And I actually called 20 people that day. Only 2 or 3 answered the phone. She answered the phone. And I said, hey, Amelia, I know you're on my full day summit. I want to be your coach. What do we have to do to make it happen? She said, I want you to be my coach, right? Thank you for calling. Let's get signed up. And we signed her up that day. Now, here's my point. 19 people either didn't answer or, right? So I got one, folks. The key to the many is to the one. Okay. If you're a biblical person like I am, there's a whole story in the Bible about leaving the 99 and going to find the one. Okay. And that's my point. I believe that the one out there you call on could change everything for you. And that's why you got to make the phone call. That's why you got to make the effort. Okay.
Thanks.
Now, if you don't know, when I signed up with North Star, there where I met Kelly Perry, or I think she saw me at 8% Nation.
Yes, sir.
They saw me speak 3 or 4 times before they took action. They actually thought my $1 million follow-up was in direct contrast to what they taught, which is a one-call close in the business. They saw me speak. They liked my energy. They called in on a Monday, and they said, we'd like to sign up for 2 of them mogul packages. Okay, mogul packages are $60,000, folks. That's $120,000 they committed to on the phone. Okay, in one phone call. That was after they saw me 3 times and they didn't take action. And they actually thought my follow-up was in direct contrast to what they believed about their follow-up. And they signed me to be a coach for $120,000. Then we extended that agreement to a much bigger contract after I got in there for just a few months. Now, what's the lesson of that story? The lesson is action, follow-up, staying in people's faces. So the hit list can come from your current clients. How many of you need to be calling your current clients more people you work with? Okay. Every person on this call has networks you haven't tapped into. Even me, by the way. So many people I haven't tapped into. I can go back to past clients, which is what Kelly's saying. I can go, now this is one of my favorite ones. I can go find money from strategic partners. And this is a big play for me. Okay. I do lots of events with strategic partners. Okay. I just did an event a week or 2 ago with Ken Jocelyn. Ken is where I saw Cynthia. There are people at his event that wanted to sign me on to be their coach. I just did an event with Sharon Lecter and Tim Story. I'm about to do another event with Sharon Lecter in Phoenix. I'm doing Doug Wood from Optavia's coming into my lodge tomorrow night to do an event with me at my publishing summit. Like I believe in what's called strategic partners that bring new associations of people to me. This is where I partner with another person. I bring X value. They bring X value. And together, 1 + 1 doesn't equal 2. It equals 11. Does everybody see that? So I go to people and I say, let's you and I partner. Now, when you and I partner, it introduces me to your network. Okay. Now, let me give an example. Let's say I go to Zach Price. You're in the insurance business, correct? And you saw me speak through who?
8% was the first time I saw you.
All right.
So,
So,
Cody.
all right. Now, let me give an example, folks. I've made hundreds of thousands of dollars, probably almost $1 million through my partnership with Cody Askins of 8% Nation, insurance guy. Okay. He saw me speak at 10X. He invited me to speak at one of his conferences. I said, you and I need to be building partnerships. So I spoke at his conference 3 times. It's put me in front of at least 1,000 people. I probably made close to $1 million of revenue out of those people. Now we're doing virtual summits together. We're doing boot camps together. We're doing an event in Mexico together. Here's the deal. He's got 35,000 people in his database, insurance people. I got X number of thousands of people in my database. See how we're cross-pollinating? I'm even introduced to his, look, in the old days, I knew Zach. Zach introduced me to one other person. That's how you're thinking. I'm thinking, how do I get introduced to Amy, and Amy introduces me to 1,000 people. She don't introduce me to one person. She introduces me to 1,000 people. These are called new associations or the power of association. Okay. So I'm thinking, okay, Cody and I can do something because Cody's got access to 35,000 insurance people. Okay. I bring mentorship to Cody. I bring experience to Cody. I bring monetization to Cody. I teach him how to monetize at a higher level, which is why he wants to partner with me. He knows together we can make a lot of money together. That is a hit list phone call. So let me show you what it looks like. Hey, Cody, this is Coach Burt. Man, I got an idea. I think in 2021, we should do 4 events with each other. We should do one for high net worth people. Let's call that 1%. Let's call it the 1% nation versus the 8%. Let's do it in Let's do it in Scottsdale, Arizona. Let's get 50 people there that are at the top of the insurance game. And then let's sell them or offer them a trip to Mexico with us at $7,500. If we get 40 people at 7,500, what's the math on that? Okay, 7,500 times 40 people, what is that? 280,000? I'll tell you what, you keep 50%, I'll keep 50%. How would you like to make 140,000 to go to Mexico? Everybody see that? How many people would take that deal? Okay, that's how it works, folks. That's magic. Boom. Megan, you paying attention to this? That's how you make magic right there. Is you pick up the phone and you say, hey, you got something and I got something. Let's partner and let's bring these two things together and let's go after this group of people. You know who they are. You get them in a room. I'll come in and speak and bring my value. Then let's offer them something else. Okay. Now we're not going to get that. We're not going to make 280,000 in a weekend in Mexico, but we could make 100,000 and keep 50,000 apiece and other people pay for our vacation in Mexico. How would that be? That's a pretty good deal. That's a strategic partnership. That's the way my mind's thinking. I used to think, get Zach Price. How do I just get Zach Price in Monster? Now I think, get Zach in Monster, but who does Zach know? Oh, Zach knows all these people. Well, let's ask Zach, can we do something? Look at what I've done with Nate Alfort's team. Start coaching Nate Alfort, 25K member. Then I say, Nate, let's get your whole team involved. So now I'm doing events. Now I'm doing stuff for his whole team. Now he's putting me in front of 100, 200 people. Now those 200 people can come to boot camps and retreats, right?
I saw you with Nate's team this morning. So
there you go. See? That's why they call me the hardest working man in show business, Zach. I was going this morning. I'm still going tonight.
That's right.
I could go down to Broadway and sing 4 or 5 songs and come back and do another one. Okay. Now, all right, Amy, you got a question. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. So we bring on a lot of new team members, and so I'm Optavia. They're not salespeople.
That's right.
Do you have any tips? And they're just scared to death. When you talk about being the outbound, it terrifies them.
Yeah.
Any tips for how to help these people cross over into, I don't know where this comes from, their ideas in the world that sales is bad, and, you know, just anything you picked up on that helps them make that transition into jumping into sharing what they got?
Here's the challenge. Okay. I'm a businessman and I see Optavia as a business. It is a health and nutrition business. It has a habits of health system. It has a great founder. It has a great message. It has a great community. No different than Monster Producer. See, I'm the Dr. A of Monster Producer. We got a community, but I can't help people until I call on people and explain the value to them and try to get them into the funnel and try to, what I'm selling them on in Optavia is health and wealth. Like if you want to get healthy and wealthy, join my Optavia team, right? My whole team's on Optavia, by the way. I'm talking everybody, my whole team.
Eric just told me that today.
Yeah, my whole monster producer team's on Optavia. Now, here's the deal. I want them to be healthy. I want them to be wealthy. I want them to go out there and be able to do things. But this is the kind of the fundamental difference I have is that a business, every business is a business. A direct selling business is a business. You got a product, you got a service, and you have to share that product or service. Now, I know y'all call it sharing and caring. And in my opinion, I don't care what you call it. It's still presenting ideas to people. It's still, I need to call Amy and say, Amy, I got an idea. Man, I've been on this thing. I lost 30 pounds. I'm in the best shape of my life. I'm 43 years old. I got more energy. I'm looking better. I was going back looking at pictures of me in 2014, 2013. Man, you should have seen how out of shape I was. Like, I was like, what in the world? It's crazy. Compared to what I look like today, like I was going back looking at my pictures, like it's such a lifestyle change. And my point is, all I do with my Optavia business as a help is I sit down and I look at 20 people and I go, who's open? Who's trying to get in better shape? Who wants to do it? I'm going to pick up the phone and call them. And I'm going to say, hey, this is what I did. If you want to do it, let me do a strategy session with you. I'll show you how it works, right? Those are hit list phone calls. You got to get out of your mind that you're not, selling is not a bad word, folks. In my opinion, you're selling another person on an idea or concept. So if whether I'm selling insurance, where I'm selling, if I'm Norbert and I'm selling people to be in my coaching program to teach them how to coach interview, I got to call people and share an idea with people. Okay. And I got to say, hey, is this something you'd be interested in? Oh, no, I'm not interested in. Okay, that's fine. Who's the next person? There's 7 billion people on the planet. I have got to call and initiate the idea of people. Does that help you?
Yeah, I'm there. I just was wondering if you had any tips on helping other people to make
Well,
that
you
transition.
got to talk about the realities of the business, like monetization. Do you know how many broke Optavia coaches there are? I mean, listen, folks, it don't matter if it changes your life, but you don't want to share it with anybody. What can you, right? Like the hit list is me calling Kelly going, Kelly, I got an idea. Man, I'm doing something. I don't know if you'd be interested or not, but I'm doing an event on Wednesday night. I'd love for you to come just check it out. Okay, that's just a hit list phone call. Does everybody understand the hit list? How many of you are not starting every day off with a hit list right now? Raise your hand. All progress starts by telling the truth, folks. Do you no good to lie to me about this? Okay, if you're going to sell anything, you have got to initiate, and that really is what the hit list is. So where can you get money? Current clients. All right, Amy, how many coaches do you have right now on your team?
Brandy, an idea? 1,000
How many?
coaches, maybe around. Yeah, currently on the books, maybe around 1,000. Active, probably about 300.
You got 1,000 coaches or 1,000 customers?
1,000 coaches that we probably had on the books, but right now currently about 300 active
for you on your team.
on our team. Yeah.
Well, good Lord, girl. Won't you give me that list and let me start calling them? Now, here's my point. If you got 300 active people, here's what I would show you. That's a great number. So congratulations on that. Here's what I'm saying. Take the 300, look at the top 16%. Those are your most engaged people. That's called the law of diffusion. Okay, so let's say you got 352.8. That's, I don't know, 300 times 60. So let's say you got 50 to 60 hot coaches. Would that be about right? 30 or 40?
I might, yeah, maybe.
Okay. You need to be spending more time and more energy and more pouring into those 30 or 40 people and equipping them.
Okay.
And then maybe boil it down to your nest, what I would call the nest, which is your top 5 or 10 to 15 coaches. Spend a lot of time with them, equipping them, really teaching them how to teach them to think like you think, to operate like you operate. Then that thing will grow.
Okay.
Don't get caught up in all three. You don't get caught up in all those big ones. Focus on the top ones.
Okay.
Yeah. But the sale you got to make to them is that this is a business and monetization is not bad. All we're doing is solving problems. The more problems we solve, the more money we make. Okay. Now, so the hit list every day is I'm initiating, folks. Okay. So I'm calling current clients, past clients, strategic partners, or I'm calling direct leads wherever your leads are coming in. Okay. Now, number 2 is I'm coming in and I'm working what's called my farm club. And my farm club are people who have indicated interest in my product or service, but I haven't closed them. Okay. And the subset of the farm club is what I call the red zone. So let's say we're going into tomorrow. Tonight, when I get done with you, I'm going to wind down. I'm going to write up my hit list tomorrow. I'm going to map out my day. I'm going to put my hit list on there. And Amy's hit list may be her top coaches that she's going to spend more time with tomorrow. Does that make sense? If you make money off their production, your hit list could be your own people. Okay. So I'm going to come in tomorrow and I'm going to look at my hit list and my red zone. And my red zone are people who have indicated interest, but I haven't closed them. And the people who are at the top. So let's say out of everybody I could call, I got 10 people that are right there. And that's the first people I'm going to tackle tomorrow. Okay. Now let me give you an example. We have a 25K member named Bob Taylor in my coaching program, and he is interested in having an office at my new Greatness Factory. And we have smaller offices and bigger offices. Okay. The office he wants was $3,000 a month. And he told me last week, I'm interested in having an office here. And I said, okay, good. Well, we put together a contract. We sent him the contract. We text message him. No response, no response, no response. I sent him a video. Today I called him and he sends me a message back, call you right back. So I get off the phone, I call him right back and I say, Bob, man, I've only got 2 of these offices. On a scale of 1 to 10, how serious are you about having an office at my Greatness Factory? He said, man, I'm at a 10. I said, okay, for me to secure this office for you and not sell it to somebody else, I need you to sign that contract today. Okay. And I'm only telling you this because we will sell that other office if you don't have it. I only got 2. And if you don't sign that contract, it is up for grabs, brother. Now, if you're a 10, we need you to sign it today. Okay. He's like, I'm in. I promise I'm in. I'm like, okay, well, we ain't in. I love you, brother, but we ain't in until I got a signed agreement. Everybody see that?
Yes.
Bob was in my red zone. So this morning, when I came into my day, I'm looking at my red zone. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, probably 5 to 7 people in my red zone. And these are the people I'm trying to close down. Every day my mind is thinking, I'm calling on new money and I'm trying to close business. Okay, Norbert, you told me you had 15 leads in the pipeline. The hit list is I'm calling these people today. And I'm going to keep calling until I get their attention. The ones that say I'm interested are in the red zone. You're trying to close those people down. Everybody see that? And I'm going to keep going until I have their attention. Okay, I'm like a dog on a bone. I'm not going to stop until I get their attention. And I go, hey, on a scale of 1 to 10, how serious are you? I know you said you want to do it, but I need to know if you're real serious, if you want to take action on this, because I can't help you till you commit. Now, this is where it gets a little uncomfortable for people, because some of you are going to say, man, Coach is very aggressive. I want to use the word, I want to replace the word aggressive with convicted. I know I can't change your life until I get you committed to something. Does everybody understand that? And I'm gonna go the distance to get you to commit, because I know with a certainty I can help you. I don't kind of think I can help you. I know. Okay. So when you're in my red zone, man, I'm going to push till I have a buying decision. The word decide means to kill off. So all I'm doing is I'm helping you kill something off. Fear, insecurity, doubt, an old habit. Okay. And I'm going to go the distance because of my conviction. So look at what I got every day. I got a hit list and I got a farm club. I got a hit list and I got a farm club. How many hours do we need to be spent doing this every day? Minimum of what? 2. If you're not spending 2 hours a day on new money, you are not serious about the monetization of your skill set. Okay. I've got coaches that come to my $1 Million Coaching Summit and they got an idea or they got a book and they got something. And I'm like, how many people are you calling a day? And they're like, well, I'm not calling anybody. And I'm like, well, you ain't too serious about your book. You ain't too serious about your product. You ain't too serious about speaking because you're not even telling anybody. Like, you can't sell a secret, folks. You can't sell a secret unless you sell it to the National Enquirer. Okay. So my point is, you got to get it out, right? Like, I had a dinner meeting with somebody tonight and she's like, how can I help you? And she's tied into all these people in Nashville. I said, I need to be famous in Nashville. I need everybody in Nashville to know me. She's like, what do you mean? I'm like, what do you mean what I mean? I need everybody in Nashville to know who I am. That's what I mean. You asked me what you could do for me. That's what you could do for me, right? I need to know every business owner in Nashville because I got a greatness factory in Nashville. Now, let's make a list and you tell me when we can start taking meetings. Everybody see that? And I'm willing to take meetings with anybody who I think can help us. Some of them are going to turn out to be complete duds, by the way. But I'm willing to go. And I tell people, look, I got 20 minutes. I can meet with you for 20 minutes. Come over to the Greatness Factory. Let me meet for 20 minutes and I'll see what we got. Who knows? Who knows what they'll be interested in? Okay. So I got a hit list and I got a farm club. Now, the third thing, and this is where I'm going to stop tonight because I don't want to overwhelm you, that I think every one of you need to be doing is you really need to understand the concept of the showcase. Okay. You really need to, this is the most powerful thing I'm doing right now. And the showcase is where I create something in the future, a free webinar, a lunch and learn, a networking event, a power dinner, a country music night. I look for anything I can do to push people to it. Now, let me give you an example. I'm doing a publishing summit this week at my lodge, and I asked Doug Wood to come in, and we're trying to do a health event at the same time I'm doing the publishing summit. But because Doug wrote a best-selling book, I said, let's not lead with the health event. Let's lead with the book. Let's get all the people from the publishing summit to come to your event because you wrote the best-selling book, Church, Board, and Millionaire. Then we'll talk about the health when we get them all there. Does everybody understand that? Okay? Because it's a publishing summit. We're talking about writing books and selling books. So let's not confuse them and say, hey, we're doing a publishing summit. Oh yeah, by the way, we're doing a health event. We're going to say, I said, look, let's keep it simple. They're coming to write a book. You wrote a best-selling book. Okay? Now you're going to tell your health journey when you're talking about the book, Church, Board, and Millionaire, right? Yes. Okay, good. Well, let's tell all these people, look, while you're here, Doug Wood's going to be here. He's going to talk about his book, Church, Board, and Millionaire. During the process, you can talk about how you did it, why you wrote the book, how you changed your life, how Optavia changed your life. Then people will be interested and go, you know what? That's interesting. My point is that is intentional congruence. That is an event. It's a free event, by the way. Now, at the same time, we're inviting other people outside the event to come to the event. All I want is people, folks. I want as many people in the room as I can get. Who knows what can happen when I put people in the room, right or wrong? Who knows what can happen when I get people in the room? You don't need more money. You need more people. Okay? So the showcase, yes, Cynthia, a customer appreciation event is a showcase event. Okay? You guys are watching me doing this country music event with Randy Hauser. Okay? So we're paying Randy Hauser, this country music artist, to come to my lodge to do an event for 100 people. Here's what I said. You had a rough year. You worked your butt off. Come and celebrate with us. Okay? We're raising money for charity. We're going to have a major artist. Is that a business event? Yes or no? Of course it is. Folks, we're just doing it a different way. We're just bringing a country music artist in. We're still going to be doing business. So that is a showcase event. Because you know who I invited? Some of my biggest prospects. I'm like, hey, I know you love country music. I'm having a big time artist at my thing. We're supporting a charity. I also invited a major strategic partner, Dustin Black, who owns a moving company. He's now become a country music singer. I said, man, why don't you come sing a few songs? Because here's what I know. If I help him, he's going to want to help me. I said, why don't you come sing your new song for everybody, man? I'd love to have you out there. I'm going to get 100 people at the lodge. Why don't you open up for Randy Hauser? Right? Here's my point. I'm smart enough to know of what's called strategic giving. And strategic giving is where I give to people that I want to help in some way. I want to give you this stage. I want to give you an opportunity to do this. I want to give, because I know he'll return that favor to me at some point in the future. That builds up money in the emotional bank account. Does that make sense? Okay. All right. So we got 3 concepts tonight, folks. And the concepts are, I got a hit list every day. I got a farm club every day. And I'm planning some kind of event every day. Okay. And don't complicate this. What if I told you I spoke at a door-to-door conference for 20 or 30 people out in Ashton, Idaho? Okay, there ain't nothing going on in Idaho, folks. They make potatoes, and it's a bunch of flat land. That's like there ain't nothing going on there, okay? But I went out to Ashton, Idaho to this big place and did an event for 20 people. Then I did another event for them. Then they said, why don't you come have dinner with us, Coach? And I was tired, and I couldn't hardly see straight, and I've been coaching forever. And I said, sure, I'd love to come have dinner with you. And I sat there at dinner, and that became a showcase. They asked questions. I answered their questions. And that night at dinner, we probably sold $30,000 to $40,000 of coaching at dinner. Because they're saying, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? Let me sign up for this. Let me sign these 3 people up for this. Then they come to the summit, spend another $30,000. Now, what's the lesson here? That dinner was worth probably $60,000, folks. And it was just a dinner with 7 people. Why? It gave me a chance to showcase how I could help people. Does everybody see that? Okay. So don't complicate the showcase. If Amy says I'm doing it, watch what Doug Wood does, Amy. He does these private retreats at his house, right? He took his house and turned it into what he called Breakthrough Acres, which is just a fancy way of saying, come to the house, let me teach you what I know, go multiply what, right? That's all he does. Those are showcase events. He don't charge many times for those. If he does, it's a small amount. It's a chance for him to get in front of people and keep people excited. That is a showcase. A dinner is a showcase. Cynthia saying inviting 7 business people over her restaurant for lunch is a showcase. And by the way, if she sold them some real estate while she's over there, that's intentional congruence. Okay, so don't complicate this. Tonight I did a showcase with one person over dinner. That person will help me go grow my business. She will introduce me to new people. She will fight for me because she's a strategic partner of mine. Does everybody see that? So I don't need 100 people. I just need a few people fighting for me every day. All right, what questions do you have?
So Coach, if you are reaching out for a strategic partnership and you haven't done like an event or something with these people that you're trying to connect with, how do you get to them? What's your framework there?
Are they warm leads or cold leads?
Let's say cold.
It's if you're doing something for cold leads, you got to position by concept and make the concept sexy enough that people would want to come to it. For example, the webinars I do, if you notice, I position by concept. So next week's webinar I'm doing is everybody needs a book in life. And it's for people that want to write a book. I'll show you how to monetize the book. My goal is to get 200 people on there. Many of those people follow me in some way, but they don't know me that well, but they want to write a book. So you have to create a concept that people would be interested in coming to. Okay, Nate created strategic wealth accumulation tactics. Okay, if you want to strategically build wealth and accumulate wealth, here are the tactics. Come to this 2-day boot camp and learn from Coach Burt and Nate Alford and Cody Askins, and we'll show you how to do it. Okay, that is positioning by concept. Good question. Okay, what other questions do you have? Because tonight we're talking monetization, folks. Now, when people come and shadow me, one thing I tell them is don't get your feelings hurt when I don't talk to you a whole lot. Okay, because if you shadow me, I'm working. Okay, I don't mind you following me around. I don't mind you watching what I do all day, but I'm not going to sit there and just hang out all day, because when I'm at work, I am calling on new money, trying to close business, planning events. All my meetings are typically 10 to 20 minutes long, you know, because some people come in and shadow me and they just think I'm just going to hang out all day and talk to them. And I'm like, no, like I'm working. Okay. I have a business. I'm trying to create more business. Like what you can watch how many people I talk to in a day and how many phone calls and how I follow up and how I do that. But it's not just hang out with Coach Burt and lollygag all day. Okay. And some people are like, dang, you work hard. Well, yeah, I'm running a business and it baffles me how many people spend time running a business every day, but don't call on any new people. Like, I'm like, well, why are you not calling on people? Why are you not trying to close people? Why are you not pushing people to events? Like, I'm confused here. The purpose of the business is to generate more business, right? And some people just don't have that. They don't know that. They don't know what they don't know, right?
Hey, Coach, this is Kelly. I have a question, a little kind of struggling with something. So we have a small brick and mortar boutique in a small town. I'm also an Optavia health coach. So an event we did Thursday night with our boutique was we partnered with the animal shelter. They're struggling financially. COVID has shut them down with some budget cuts. So our town is very big with the animal shelter, loves all those fur babies. So we partnered with them, made a big deal, called it Fur Babies in Fashion. Had a huge live, sold a lot of products. We're giving back to them. We're going to go buy dog food, cat food, Dawn detergent, anything they need. We're going to make a big deal about it. But so that to me would have been a showcase. Would you agree with that?
Yes,
Or
I would agree.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's a great
So every time.
show.
Okay, thank you. So, so that was a lot of fun, and the community was very supportive. But I think where the intentional congruency, and I've been listening to you and reading back on my notes. So I've got my Optavia, but I can't seem to streamline or like I'm a business person in a brick and mortar, a few days a week there, doing lives, Facebook lives, taking my products into the hospitals, the teacher workrooms, banks. But then I've got my health coaching business over here, but I feel like I'm just flustered with two different directions. I can't seem to, this congruency
Well,
between two businesses.
well, when I build a business, um, and all of my business are intentionally congruent with each other, meaning they feed
Yeah.
each other. And
Right.
what happens when you have two businesses that are like, you got a boutique over here and you got a healthcare business over here, and you got to ask, how do they tie to each other? Okay. How do I, like what you did is you tied two concepts together with the fur and the, right. And right. Like you
Right.
tied two different concepts together. So the question becomes, how do you tie the boutique and the health business together? And could you have events that tie them two together where people come in there? You know, I don't know exactly what it is. Like I do health and wealth. That right? Like I'm gonna talk about money and getting your health right and or double your energy, double your income. Now I'm combining health and money. You got to ask yourself, how do you do that? Or how do you recognize when people may need Optavia or may be interested in Optavia, and then you have how do you bridge the gap between that conversation? Like
Well,
there
what
are
I
people
have done, I did made it on I can't remember where I got it created, but it's probably about 16 inches tall. It's a before and after of my husband and I sitting right on the counter when you pay. Got my business cards there, and it says we've come a long way, baby. And people will say, oh my gosh, I even have in one of my, when I weighed 200 pounds, you know, wearing a size 16, and now the other one I'm in a size 10, and the clothes are from my store, you know, so that has drawn attention, helped.
you follow up with those the people if they
Yeah.
indicate interest and say, tell me about your story, then that's a lead.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. And I hand them a business card and tell them to check me out. But I'm still struggling, but I'm working on it. For me, I guess listening to some of the things you're saying, I'm feeling a little more confident on how to do that. So.
Well, let me ask you a question. From the people that came to your showcase event, have you followed up with those people?
Yes, we have followed up with those people. You mean with the fur babies in fashion? Yeah, actually, we have followed up with all of them. And then what we did was we're doing a live this week, and we're going to go to the animal shelter, deliver the food, and all the people who made a purchase that night, their names are on the card to present, and they're getting the pictures. So yes, I have followed up with every single person, person.
Good. So you're doing what most people's not done.
Yeah.
I really want to encourage you. The purpose of the showcase is to get people excited.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Like I just had a group of people at my lodge. And so I'm going back to all those people that were there, talking to them about different products they could take action on. Hey, I know you're interested in the manager. I know you're interested in this. Always keep pushing people to something in the future. So let's say Yolanda comes to the lodge, and through conversation and discovery, I figure out this is what she wants to do. Well, she wants to be a coach. I follow up with her and say, hey, have you considered coming to my $1 Million Coaching Summit? I present an idea to her. All she can do is say, no, I'm not interested. No, I don't want it. No, what I really want to do is write a book. Okay, if we could help you write the book, would you be interested in that? Let me get you on a call with my book writing team. See what I'm saying? I keep finding the problem and pushing her to a solution. But I got to follow up with her. The purpose of you doing the fur baby event is to get people there, get them excited, and then follow up with them.
Okay. All
and
right,
then from
thank
that, a percentage will be interested in the health, and percentage will be interested in the store, and a percentage ain't gonna be interested in anything.
What would be a great idea? I have a health and hope I'm working on the week after Thanksgiving at my friend's blessing me and let me use her restaurant to host it, to follow up with some of these people and say, hey, by the way, I'm hosting a health and hope night. Would love for you to come to that. Okay.
Yeah, here's the deal. I don't think you're ever going to be wrong hosting events, folks. Okay. I want to remind you that one of the largest contracts I ever signed was a $450,000 contract. I did a workshop and 2 people showed up. It taught me a valuable lesson. Never underestimate who is sitting in the room with you, right? Let's
Well,
say
like
Amy
Wood
has
says,
6
yeah,
people show up. You never know. One of those 6 people may be a multimillionaire, says, I want to get my whole team on Optavia.
right. It's what Doug Wood always says too. Don't say no for anybody. So,
The deal, when you're just trying to get it going, it don't matter if one person shows up or 500.
mhm.
Okay. You just need it, right? Every major contract I have ever signed started with me speaking in front of people. Not always paid, by the way. Many times it was for free. Everybody hear that? Okay. So don't ever underestimate the power. Those little country music artists singing down there on Broadway never know when the right person is going to walk in and see them. What if they have a night where they go, you know what, I'm just going to goof off, play around, not be my best, and then a major agent walks in that night and goes, no, they ain't good enough. Like, you never know. Garth Brooks got signed to a major deal because he was supposed to play at the Bluebird one night when he came to Nashville. He was number 7. A guy came to see the person that was number 2. The guy that was supposed to be in the 2 spot showed up late. They put Garth Brooks in his place, and the guy saw Garth Brooks versus the guy he was supposed to see. And that guy said, we need to sign that guy right now. You never know, folks, who's watching. So I would tell you, put events on the schedule, get people there. I don't care if one person shows up or 25 people. That's just power of the showcase. Okay. Do the first webinar. And it don't matter, like I had like 7 people my first webinar I did. Now we're getting averaging 200 per webinar. Okay. So 200 is still not enough. I just keep doing them. I want to get 500 on the next one. So just do it. That's what I'm saying. We'll start working. Just work the muscle. Just see what I do and try to do it. Okay. Any more questions?
Yeah, I have a
All good
question,
questions.
Coach. Can you hear me?
Okay.
This is Kelly.
Go ahead.
You can hear me?
I can.
Yeah, okay, good, thanks. So I feel like I always have an underlying reason for doing something, right? There's a word that I'm trying to think of and I can't think of it, but like I would always be thinking about getting a customer when I'm talking to somebody, how can I get this? So now with insurance and firearms, how nonchalantly can you say, hey, I also have a firearm business if you're interested? Like if I sold them insurance of some sort, I feel like I'm kind of being sneaky, like a little snake in the grass.
I'm gonna have to think on that one for a second.
Okay, because that's not really congruent. That's just kind of happened that way, and now I want to monetize.
Well, I mean, here's the deal. Some people are going to be interested in the firearms, and some people are going to be interested in the insurance. Okay, no, you got different products. Now, how they tie together, I don't know. I don't know yet. It's
Right.
That's something you need to be thinking.
Yeah.
But I don't have an answer for that right now. Now, I don't know if you call to sell me insurance and then you sold me firearms. I don't know. I may be confused, but you may call and just do discovery and talk to me and see that we have something in common. And then the next thing you know, I pivot. So here's the deal. If I call Tony Richards, okay, and I'm talking to him, all I'm really doing is trying to discover what his real problem is. Okay. And once I discover what his real problem is, then I go, oh, what you need, Tony, is over here. Okay. Oh, what you need is this. What you need is this. Like a doctor making a recommendation. That's what I'm doing with people, is I'm initiating, disarming, locating a problem, offering a compelling solution. Everybody see that? Okay. So I don't know, when I call Tony Richards, I don't know what he needs, Kelly, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
He may have all the insurance he needs, and that may not be an option, but I may find out, man, he's got an affinity for firearms. And I may say at that point, hey, I don't know if you know this, but man, it's crazy, but I got this business as well. You may be interested in this. Okay.
Just toss it out there maybe sometimes. Yeah.
You never know. All they can say is I'm not interested.
Okay. Thank you.
What if I call Megan Farrell and I got a horse riding business and I call to sell her coaching, but I find out her kids love horses. And I go, oh, I don't know if you know this, but we own a ranch And, you know, we do horse riding lessons too. Let me get you in touch with my people so you can go out there and check it out. I mean, it's feasible that could happen if I knew her kids loved riding horses. My daughter loves riding horses. Who would have thought that? Because I didn't ride horses growing up, but my daughter loves riding horses. Now, what if you combined riding horses with, she's learning something, okay? So they teach them how to ride horses, but they also teach them toughness and grit and how to bounce back and life lessons. I was like, this is crazy. I can send her to go ride horses and she's learning things she needs to learn to be successful. I'd be willing to pay for that. Everybody see that? All right, let's close it out with this. And just let me be clear. Monetization is taking a skill and making money with it. Okay, it's not something people should be ashamed of. Okay, I'm a biblical person. I'm a faith-based person. The Bible mentions money 723 times. Okay, if it wasn't that important, the Bible wouldn't talk about it like that. Okay, so we got to get over I grew up, we don't talk about money. Money's not evil, but we don't talk about it. We have to understand, when you're running a business, the business needs money like your body needs oxygen, folks. Okay, you can't grow, you can't market, you can't do anything unless you have enough money. Okay, so all I'm saying is every day when we wake up, we have to focus on the production of selling our product and services to people. And that's really what the selling system does. Every day I got a hit list. Every day I got a farm club. Every day I'm planning events and I'm circulating. Okay, and that is consistent with me. Every day I go to work, I'm focused on those things. Everybody see that? Okay, every single day, man. And I don't waver from that, because I see too many small business owners that just, average small business owner makes $47,000 a year. And that's not enough for you to grow and do the kind of big things you want to do in the world. Okay. So guys, I think we had a good night tonight. So I know we went an hour and a half. Thank you for hanging in there with me. But tonight is a very important session. Tonight was on the legacy selling system and the 3 things you got to do every day to produce money. So thank you for being coachable. If you got any questions, just email us and let's just keep this all rolling, folks. Great questions tonight. Great engagement. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you so much for being coachable. Okay. Have a good night.